A mysterious Iranian ship suspected of carrying Russian weapons has just sunk, and no one knows why. Was it sabotage, a mechanical failure, or something far more dangerous? This comes at a time when tensions between the United States and Iran are skyrocketing. The possibility of a massive military strike looms, with American military bases in the region already being evacuated. The stakes couldn't be higher. Imagine this. Military assets are shifting, and the entire world is waiting to see what happens next. What if this sinking is more than just an accident? Stick around, because what happens next might change everything. This sinking isn't happening in a vacuum. It's part of a much larger and much more dangerous picture. Iran and Russia have long been allies, and both are locked in a tense standoff with the United States. With the Russian war in Ukraine escalating and the U.S. scrambling to deploy military assets in the region, one question stands out. Is this sinking just a coincidence, or is it part of a calculated move? What does this ship sinking say about the shifting alliances and the secretive deals happening behind closed doors? And what happens when one piece in this complex puzzle falls into place? This isn't just about one ship. It's about a war, covert operations, and the rising danger of global conflict. Here's the thing. This isn't just a random incident. The Iranian ship that went down was no ordinary vessel. It had a history of secretly transporting weapons to Russia. Weapons like the infamous Shahi drones, which have been used in the war against Ukraine. The ship had made at least 20 trips between Iran and Russia just in the past few months, and now it's gone, sinking in the Caspian Sea. But here's what no one is talking about. Why is this ship, with its secret cargo, sinking now? Was it sabotage, mechanical failure, or something else entirely? The only thing we know for sure is that whatever was on board, whether drones or weapons, is now lost, and no one is in a hurry to explain why. Now, let's take a step back. This isn't the first time something like this has happened. Remember the Russian ship that sank under mysterious circumstances just a few months ago? It was carrying undeclared nuclear reactor parts likely meant for North Korea. Spanish investigators later confirmed the ship was torpedoed, not a mechanical failure as the Russians claimed. That ship's sinking raised eyebrows, but it wasn't until we saw the fallout that the true significance hit. Just like that ship, this Iranian vessel could be more than just a sinking. It's happening in the midst of heightened tensions, and no one is ruling out the possibility of covert operations or sabotage. The question is, how much longer can these covert operations stay under the radar before they ignite a much bigger fire? And now we're facing something even more unsettling. The sinking of this Iranian ship might be linked to something much bigger than just a tactical strike. Look at the timing. Iran and the U.S. are on the brink of direct conflict, with military assets from both sides moving into position. While the Iranian vessel's exact cargo remains a mystery, the ship's track record speaks volumes. Weapons to Russia, possibly drones or other advanced systems. The very same advanced weapons Russia is using in the war against Ukraine. Notice the pattern? Every piece of this puzzle feels like it's being carefully orchestrated, but by whom and for what purpose? This isn't an isolated incident. It's part of a growing web of secretive actions that could be leading to something far more dangerous than we've been told. Now things are getting chaotic. The United States is surging military assets into the region, and tensions with Iran are at an all-time high. It's not just the sinking of the Iranian ship. This is one of several rapid developments. Just days ago, the U.S. evacuated its military bases in the region. Aircraft are moving, naval ships are on high alert. The situation is spiraling out of control. What happens if this continues? If more ships go down? If more covert operations escalate? We could be witnessing the beginning of a full-blown conflict. Every decision now carries enormous weight, and the next move could change the entire course of history. The dominoes are set. The question is, who will push the first one over? Now, let's zoom in on what this all means for you. This isn't just some far-off geopolitical drama. It's something that could directly impact your world. The ripple effects of this situation could spread far beyond the Caspian Sea. Higher oil prices, supply chain disruptions, and even increased security risks in your daily life are all possible outcomes. The reality is that when global powers are on the brink of war, we all feel the impact. whether it's in the price of gas or the tension in the air. This might feel distant, but it's not. If this situation escalates, the consequences will be felt on a global scale. If this feels familiar, if you've seen the world teeter on the edge before, drop a comment below. We all need to watch this closely. The stakes are just too high. But here's the unsettling truth. All of this is happening because of a system that rewards secrecy, power plays, and covert operations. The sinking of this Iranian ship, just another example of how global superpowers maneuver in the shadows, making moves that the public will never fully understand. It's not just about weapons or military strategy. It's about leveraging power, fear, and control. Nations act in their own interest, hiding behind veils of secrecy, and the rest of the world is left to pick up the pieces. This is a system built on hidden deals, undisclosed agendas, and unchecked power. The longer this goes on, the more the world becomes a chessboard. And you, me, and everyone watching are just pawns in a game where the rules are never clear. So, where does this all go from here? There are two possible paths. On one hand, this could de-escalate. A few tense days, a few secretive meetings behind closed doors, and the situation could cool off. But the more likely scenario, this conflict is going to grow. The U.S. and Iran are already in a high-stakes game of brinkmanship. And with Russia involved, it's only a matter of time before someone takes the first shot. The world is holding its breath, waiting for the next move. One spark could set off a firestorm with consequences far beyond anyone's control. But here's the thing. The next move is already being made behind the scenes. Whoever strikes first will be the one to decide the future. The only question is, what will they do with that power? In the end, this story isn't just about a ship sinking in the Caspian Sea. It's a microcosm of the dangers we face when power is hidden behind closed doors and global tensions are pushed to the brink. The true danger is what happens when these covert operations spill into the open, when the dominoes start to fall and no one can stop them. This event is a stark reminder that what we see on the surface is only a fraction of the story. The real game is happening far beneath the surface, and it's up to us to stay alert, to question, and to keep watching. The stakes have never been higher. If you want to keep up with the story as it unfolds, hit that follow button and stay tuned. This is far from over. Far from